Hello, friends. Welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Today we have a nice, gentle upper body and lower body stretch, perfect for after a long journey, a long car ride, plane. A lot of these travel, obviously, we sit for an extended period of time, and that can cause a lot of tension, especially in the shoulders if we're hunching over, or in the hips as they're in one position for a long time. So we work on opening up through those areas of the body today. I remind you to move gently, especially if we're stiff and super tight. Just find those little pockets of ease and surrender into however our posture looks today. So, whenever you're ready to stretch it all out, we can get started. We begin today in tabletop, just finding length in the spine here first, checking our alignment, noticing these small little sensations, the space between the fingers, feeling the tops of the feet supported as we press into the earth. Drawing the navel into the spine as we press away from the mat, extending through the arms, finding space. Taking the knees out to the outer edges of the mat and keeping the toes kind of close in together. We're going to take this little variation of cat-cow. Inhale to drop the belly. And exhale to round. Maybe noticing how this feels different in the hips. And remembering we can always come back into our traditional cat-cow if that feels better, but opening up the hips here. Creating some different movements in our bodies. Beautiful. One more round. And then we'll meet in tabletop, taking the knees a little bit back in together, but this time walking the fingertips about a hand's width apart. So bringing them up and then taking the hips down to the left side, pressing into the hands as we circle the hips around to the right and send them back. So make this movement as big as you want, as big as feels good. We're bringing out the spine here. We can feel this in the lower back, the shoulders. Maybe we take just little sways here, whatever feels good to you. Whatever your body needs after that long, treacherous journey. One more round of breath here. And then we can sink the hips back into child's pose, reaching the fingertips out, just finding length in the sides of the arms, reversing the hunched over posture of the shoulders we might have had. Maybe steepling the fingertips, still sending the hips back towards the feet as we reach the hands out, finding as much length as we can. Remembering to breathe, just release. Beautiful. Bringing the chest back up, plant the left arm down and reach that right arm up. Big inhale. Kind of circle the shoulder a little bit, just opening up through that shoulder socket. There we go. One more breath. And then release to gently switch. Inhaling the left up. Feeling yourself open with each little movement. Releasing back, taking the chest up, tucking the toes, and making our way into downward facing dog. Sending the hips up, gripping through the fingers, pedaling out the feet. Wake up those legs. Beautiful. Finding our nice long lines here, pressing the crown of the head towards the hands and the heels down as we send the hips up. Hold here, one big breath. And then gently raise the heels and set them down. Inhale, lift, and exhale, plant. Just deepening this hamstring and calf stretch. One more like this. And we can gently make our way to the top of the mat, where we plant the feet hip width apart, keeping a bend in the knees, and forward fold. Letting all the blood rush to the head. Maybe we grasp opposite elbows and find a little sway. Maybe we just release the hands in front of the feet and just let everything go. Releasing tension in the shoulders, maybe nodding the head to the side, or making little circles with the neck. On your next exhale, plant the left hand down, bending the left knee, straightening the right, peeling the right up. Inhale, revolve. You can come up onto the fingertips for a little tight in the hammies right now. Big breath. Exhale to gently plant the right hand and switch. Inhale, peel the left up. Exhale to replace. Inhale, roll up to standing very slow, keeping a bend in the knees, just feeling each vertebra, keeping the chin tucked until the very end. And we open up to the front, mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up, find a big stretch. And exhale, take them to heart center. Right, inhale, reach the hands up. Maybe take a slight back bend as the palms kiss. And back to center. Shifting your weight to this right foot, taking the left knee up, and then slowly stepping it back, coming into our low lunge. Taking our time here, making sure our hips are square, and we are internally rotating the legs. That is the most important thing. Not how far down we can get. We might even be up here. Maybe this feels good. Maybe we have the back foot tucked to give ourselves a little bit more lift here. Just exhale, sink into that hip. Feel all of the goodness there. One more breath. And then plant the fingertips on either side of the foot. Lift the back knee, straightening both legs. We might need to take this back foot up a little bit to come into a triangle pose. So we can have the fingertips on the mat. Maybe the hands are on the mat. Maybe they find the shin as we find our balance, connect to our core. Or we can always use a block to help us here. Nice and active in the quadriceps. One more big breath. And we can plant the fingertips on either side of the foot. Gently step back into a plank pose. And take a little vinyasa, nice and controlled. Elbows in by the sides. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the heart to the sky. And exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe we're feeling more open now. Make your way to the top of the mat and forward fold. Exhale to rise, hands come above the heart or the head, and exhale, they meet heart center. Shifting your weight to the left foot, right knee into the chest, and exhale, stepping it back, low lunge. Taking a few moments here to sink into the hip. Check your alignment. Check how it feels. Have a little self-mental check-in here. have a physical check-in and a mental check-in. How are you doing today? What lessons maybe did you learn about yourself on this travel adventure that we can take in and use to make this world a better place? One more breath. And then exhale, bring the fingertips down, straightening both legs, gently making our way into our little pyramid pose here. Leaning over the left leg, nice and strong, sending the hips back. We want them square. Being careful not to place too much pressure on this knee. Amazing. One more breath. And exhale, bend this left knee to plant the hands, step back to plank pose, but lower gently down to the belly. Untuck the toes, steeple the fingers on either side of the shoulders, and inhale, use the hands to lift the chest. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, mat. Working through the shoulders, the upper back. Feeling this beautiful balance of forward fold and back bend as we open up through both the front and back chains of the body. Moving with the breath. Two more of these. Big inhale and exhale. Last one. Taking the hands underneath the shoulders, gently pressing up onto the knees, tucking the toes underneath the hips, just to get a little foot action here. Maybe our feet were probably shoved into shoes the whole time we were flying, unless you're one of those people who take your shoes off on the airplane. Comment below if you are. I'm actually curious. I have done it a few times. So just leaning up on the ball of the foot. Maybe we give ourselves a little massage here. Just taking a few breaths, taking out that little pinky toe, making sure he's not left behind. Rolling the shoulders back, maybe closing the eyes for a moment. Going within. And gently blinking the eyes open, making sure our knees are hip width apart. Inhale, lift up onto the knees. Bring the hands up over the head. Exhale, reach that right hand back, finding the ankle, reaching the left overhead. Exhale, send the pelvis forward. So we're not just bending from up top. We're actively sending the pelvis and the abdomen forward as we reach back and open up. We can also lower down onto the tops of the feet, depending on our accessibility and comfortability. Exhale, take the hips back down and reach for the left ankle. Little swinging camel here. We'll do one more each side. Just opening up through the back and the shoulders. Exhale, hips down. Maybe now we try it with flat feet. Can also come into our full expression of camel pose if we would like. Sometimes I like to swing around. I think it's more fun. Beautiful. Coming to sit on the knees. If this is okay, take the feet out to the sides and rest the sit bones on the mat. I know this is very tricky for the knees, so this might not feel good to a lot of people. We're here for only 2 breaths. If not, we can just hang out on tops of the knees. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, bring them back down, just sinking into the hips, opening up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, circle around one more time. Beautiful. Coming up onto the knees and sending both feet out to the right side, sitting on the sit bones. tucking those feet into the hips, reaching the left arm over. One last little side body stretch. Exhale to release. Sweep those feet over to the left side as we reach the right arm over, spiraling the chest open. And sweep it across the face. And slowly make your way down onto the back. Planting the feet hip width apart, preparing for bridge pose. Our hands are grounded into the mat as we exhale and send the pelvis up. Pressing the palms and the soles of the feet down into the earth as we lift the hips to the sky. Hold. Squeeze the glutes together. Squeeze the legs together. Don't let them fall. You're strong. You're a warrior. Beautiful. One more breath. You got it. Exhale, release. Taking the knees into the chest. Finding a little lower back relief. Beautiful. And whenever you're ready, we can gently guide both of these knees over to the left side as we extend our right arm and maybe gaze over the right shoulder, finding a little twist to end our practice here. End our practice with a happy little spine. Breathing nice and even. Just a few simple breaths in these twists. Whenever you're ready, gently come back onto the back and let the knees drop to the right side. Enjoying these few last little moments on your mat today. Noticing how you feel now as opposed to right when you got off the plane or out of the car. Just melting down, allowing the space we created to settle in and the tension we left behind to disappear, float away on the air. And whenever we're ready, we can gently press up from our little twist, make our way into a seated position. Thank you for joining me today and dedicating some time for yourself. I would love to know how this class went for you and where you went on your travels. So let me know down below, and I will see you next time on the mat, my friends. Namaste.